Is Taal Volcano about to erupt? So in a previous episode, I talked about how the Philippines is kind of part of this ring of fire where natural disasters happen there all the time. And they're part of this like volcanic chain of islands that dots the whole Pacific. They have a specific volcano. They call it Taal, Taal. I don't actually know if I'm saying that right. That over the past week and a half has had like 30 earthquakes and 9 small eruptions. This isn't normal. It's not normal for Taal to be doing this. And so the Philippines has banned aircraft from flying around it, and they've banned hiking and boating on the island that Taal is on. So hopefully this has happened over like the last week and a half. Now, this is an interesting podcast because I'm recording this early before it gets published. And so between when I'm recording this and when it gets published, it might erupt or it might just kind of chill out and go away. And hopefully what they've already seen is the worst of it. Like it's done these earthquakes, it's had these small eruptions, it's gonna calm down and not do any more. But the Philippines Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, I had to read that one, they're looking at it carefully because its activity is increasing. And Taal has a history of really destructive stuff. In 2020, so I remember this super well, in 2020, it erupted, sent this massive plume of ash into the air that covered Manila and other parts of the Philippines. And like a couple people died from it. And I just remember getting tons and tons of emails from people saying, I'm sorry, I cannot work. I can't breathe. People were sending me pictures and they could barely see across the street because of the ash. It was so bad. I'm just telling you that Taal Volcano could erupt. If it erupts and it did like it did a couple years ago, it's going to cause issues with your OFS. It's gonna cause it. If it doesn't erupt, just be aware that it could, and people in the Philippines are anxious about it. It causes problems, and it will affect their lives if it does. That's it. Today's short and sweet. Taal Volcano could erupt. It hasn't, but just pay attention.